Kirby's Epic Yarn is a really easy game, and a nearly comically easy game. A game so coddling and feel good, it could only be made by literally the Good Feel Company. Kirby's Epic Yarn is a cooperative Wii game where Kirby has been transformed into yarn by a cosmic demon thing, you know how Kirby go, and he has cute travels to fix everything. There is no time limit, there are no lives, half of the enemies are asleep. This game is like a warm blanket and a warmer cup of tea on a soft couch paired with pleasant conversation with your best friend on a snowy night after a long day. Which is exactly how I played it. And yet, relaxation did not look like how you think it might. You see, there are gems, and because the game has removed the ability to lose everything else, the gems become the most important part of the game. We would shout at each other for falling down a hole and losing 8 gems, stunting over each other to be the first to get the next gem, just leaping over each other, throwing each other, all the while just shouting, absolutely hollering to be the first one to get the gems. Nothing was more threatening than a wool sock, so all that mattered was the gems. But one night our sleep-addled minds happened upon Deep Dive Deep. You could cuddle the lava in this game, and suddenly we're in the dark, and it's actually creepy. And even more suddenly, we're being chased by an anglerfish! When you die, you kind of just get plopped back onto the stage, gems flying off you like Sonic's rings. But when you're being chased by a fangly anglerfish, it's a treadmill of hurt. We made it across the finish line. I don't know if it's possible to not to, but it felt like an accomplishment. Rattled, shaken, thrown off, we continue our route. A couple more water levels, and the next world was soft and snowy, and just enough levels passed by that we think Deep Dive Deep was a fluke. This brings us to the cozy cabin. Played on a snowy February night in 2014 under 2 or 3 blankets, looking to relax after being chased by an anglerfish. It could be more relaxing than a cozy cabin mirroring our own haven from the winds and stress of the outside world. Entering the cabin, though, causes it to unfurl from the top down, the very structure we thought represented safety and coziness. We escaped with barely a gem to our name, only to find ourselves entering another cabin. This time my friend looks at me and says, "Don't go for the gems." I agree. The most unassuming game had just given us reason to abandon the only thing of consequence. This is the emotional crux, the turning point in gameplay priority I've seen attempted in so many other games. In The Last of Us, you chase after Ellie. In Shadow of the Colossus, you leave behind aggro. In Mother 3, my favorite game, your rival removes his helmet. The verbs, the actions you can take are recontextualized, mostly by the gameplay. But it's here, in Kirby's Epic Yarn, where the aesthetics change, that I've remembered it the most. My goals changed that level, and I will never forget it. The low stakes let us harmlessly compete, but raising the stakes, even just once, made us realize there was still competition going on. Afterwards, we still joked and competed for gems, but now we looked over our shoulders. We went into each level suspicious. We still gave each other a hard time for losing gems, but now it was a little less hard of a time. The cozy cabin showed us the frailty of our gem competition, and left us kinder and softer toward each other afterwards.